Hello beautiful people, welcome again to Shami's Kitchen, your favorite kitchen where we make amazing meals, and thank you for hitting that subscribe button and supporting my channel. Thank you also for liking and sharing my videos. Today we're going to make the famous Kaimati, or what is famously known as puff puff, or the sweet dumplings, or the sweet balls, whatever you call it in your country. Here we call it Kaimati. So today I will share with you that recipe. So let's get started. So we start by prepping our yeast: 1 teaspoon of dry yeast, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and warm milk. We need warm milk because yeast needs a warm environment to thrive, and also it's a living thing, so it feeds on sugar. So we'll set this aside, mix this and set this aside, and then allow it to rise so that our mixture will rise better. So we set this aside in a warm place for around 5 minutes and allow it to rest. I didn't have a cling film, so I used the paper that I had. It's clean, and then you set that aside, or you can also use your kitchen towel. As long as it's in a warm place, that will work. And then we start prepping our dough. So we do our dry ingredients, which is 2.5 cups all-purpose flour. You make sure that you do that the measuring well. For me, I use the baking cups. So 2.5 all-purpose flour. I added a pinch of salt, just a little bit of salt, and then half teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda will help the Kaimati to be a little bit crunchy, and then half teaspoon of baking powder. You mix that together, and that will make your dry ingredients. And then our yeast, you see, it has already started to form bubbles. That means that our yeast is alive. So you add the yeast to the dry ingredients, our yeast mixture into our dry ingredients, and then you start to mix. I used brown sugar, so that's why it didn't dissolve well. So we start to mix, and then we add the rest of our milk. I'll put the measurements in the description box, although I've shared them with you here. So you start kneading. We want to make a very soft dough. You start adding warm water. These are very good for business because they will give you a very good profit. That's why I wanted to do both. You can do at home as like a recipe that you can do at home, and one that you can also use for business. That's why I use a little bit of milk and also warm water. So some people will substitute their water with milk, which is very much okay. If you love a lot of milk in your Kaimati or your puff puff, you can substitute the water measurements with milk, so you won't have to use water at any point. If you're an egg person, you can also add 1 egg. That's also optional. So for me, I wanted to show for somebody who wants to do for business, and they are very yummy. Even I use the same recipe even for our home Kaimati, so they're very, very nice. A little bit of milk here, and then you do a little bit of water. We want a soft dough. Remember, we want a soft dough for Kaimati. And then you do warm oil, 1/4 cup of warm oil. I add mine at the at the last stage because it helps to when I'm putting in my oil, like when I'm deep frying, it helps not to stick on my hand. So it's very nice to add it at the end. So our dough is ready. You cover that and set aside for 30 minutes to allow it to rise. So 30 minutes later, our dough has risen. The yeast, you see, the yeast was alive, so that means that it helped our dough to rise. Only 30 minutes in, and then we have our dough ready. You punch that down to remove all extra air, and then you start to prepare your dough for deep frying. There are so many methods of deep frying. You can use your hand, you can use a spoon only, and then others use a bottle. You just make a hole at the bottle of the top of the lid of the bottle. For me, this one works. The bottle one, I find it very tasking because you need to get all the dough inside. So you can choose your method. There are so many methods, and also the size depends on you. So you keep turning. If you want evenly browned or cooked kaimati or puff, you keep turning. You keep turning them while they are deep frying, and then you're using medium heat. Don't forget, use medium heat on these. Not very low heat, not high heat, because you want them to be evenly cooked and well cooked, both on the inside and on the outside. You keep repeating the same method until all your kaimatis are well done and all are all cooked, all deep fried. These are very nice for the Ramadan season. You can serve them for iftar and also for breakfast during normal days, and then also for your kids, snacks and everything. So you choose where to eat it. They are very good for snacking, also for tea time and all that. So if you want to use them for business, they give a very nice profit. Depending on where you are, you'll know how to sell them. So our kaimatis are done. So those are our kaimatis that are not coated. Remember, we didn't put a lot of sugar inside, so we need to coat them on the outside. We need to put Shira ya nje, or sugar syrup, on the outside. That's how I like it. These kaimatis we didn't put, they're not the ones that you put sugar on the inside. We put sugar on the outside. So you do 1 cup of water and then half a cup of sugar. You heat that up, and you can do any flavoring of your liking. You can do cardamom, others you do cinnamon, and others will do vanilla essence. So for the flavoring, that is on you, for your liking. Like, you can choose the kind of flavoring that you want. You heat that up until it starts making bubbles, and then it's a little bit sticky. So you'll know that your Shira is ready when it's a little bit sticky, like that. So our Shira is ready. So for me, I separated 2, and then one will be for the soft Shira, and then the other one will be for the hard Shira. So like the sugar syrup. So this one I won't put on the fire. I'll just pour a little bit and then mix that up, and then the other half will be like, I'll show you how I do it. I put on the stove inside the sufuria, and then I continue heating on low heat while I mix that up every single time. You don't make them heat like zisiungue. So you keep mixing that up, wazirusharusha kwa juu until the sugar syrup is all dried up and they have separated. That's when you know that they are ready, when they've separated. So it depends. Also here, it's for your liking. If you like the ones that are just soft, the sugar syrup, you pour a little bit on top, and then you mix that up. Make sure that all of them are well coated. And then there's this other method where you heat them on the sufuria, on your cooking pot, and then you heat them on low heat until all the sugar syrup has dried up and they are well coated and they are separating. So like that. So the other half, here it is. You see this one a little bit shiny, and then the sugar syrup is just coated like that. And the other ones like that. So we have those 2 methods of coating. And there we have our kaimati, our puff, or our sweet dumplings, or our sweet balls. Hope you enjoyed the recipe, and you'll try it and comment on the comment section and tell me if you liked it and if it was helpful. Kindly like and share my videos, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.